Imagine a child who grew up not in the bright lights of Toronto, but in modest Hamilton, a city where everyone knows everyone, where dreams seem as distant as the NBA lights. This boy, with long arms and awkward movements, would become not just a star, but a symbol that greatness is born not from privilege, but from consistency, discipline, and the ability to turn every obstacle into a stepping stone to the top. This was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a future NBA MVP, a world champion with Team Canada, and a man who redefined what a modern point guard should be. Roots and foundations, a home of Olympic ambition. Shai Asian Gilgeous. Alexander was born on July 12, 1998, in Toronto, but spent his childhood in Hamilton, Ontario, a city that shaped his character as much as any coach. In the Gilgeous-Alexander household, there was never room for complacency. His mother, Charmaine Gilgeous, was not just a former track and field athlete. She represented Antigua and Barbuda at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, running the 400 meters in 55.48 seconds. She always reminds me that I'll never be a better athlete than her. She's arrogant, too. She thinks she's the best at everything, Shai recalls with a smile. His father, Vaughn Alexander, had his own basketball history, a high school star at Georges Vanier Secondary School in Toronto, who led his team to a city championship in the early 1990s. After his playing career, Vaughn became a mentor, founding the No Flukes organization dedicated to the personal and athletic development of youth. He taught me life lessons on what it means to be a man and how men go about certain situations, notes Shai's cousin, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who also plays in the NBA for the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Gilgeous-Alexander family philosophy was straightforward and unforgiving. I don't want to say I knew he would be a three-time NBA All-Star by 26, or a scoring champion or an MVP. That would be crazy, Vaughn muses. But I will say there are no accidents. The work we put in is designed for that. For instance, if we practice brushing our teeth a certain way for 20 years, it's not surprising that you're good at brushing your teeth. In the Gilgeous-Alexander family, discipline was not a punishment but a way of life. I'm very competitive, for one. I love basketball and watched a lot of basketball, made them watch a lot of basketball. But the biggest thing for me was that I wanted them to always go against each other because that's how I got better in my areas, Vaughn recounted on the Yay Ace Time podcast in June 2024. When his parents divorced, Shai moved with his mother and younger brother Thomasy to Hamilton, where Charmaine instilled in him a strong work ethic and humility. Formative years, first lessons in failure. Shai's early basketball journey began with rejection, a classic sports underdog story. In ninth grade, he failed to make the junior varsity team at St. Thomas More Catholic Secondary School. This setback could have broken many teenagers, but for Shai, it became a catalyst. When I fail and I lose, I'm most motivated, and I think getting cut from the team kind of initiated that, he later admitted. Instead of giving up, Shai moved to the school's junior boys team, where he not only won the team MVP, but also led St. Thomas More to a junior city championship. It was the first demonstration of his ability to turn obstacles into opportunities. Dwayne Washington, his coach and teacher at St. Thomas More, witnessed the transformation. No, he wasn't a superstar. His feet were already fully grown to what they are now. And he was clumsy, so the overall motor skills weren't in place. But he was very determined and very willing, Washington recalled. In 8th grade, Shai made a request that astonished Washington. He asked me for a favor. Could the teachers open the gym at 6 a.m. every day so he could practice before school? I was floored. Nobody ever asked for that, Washington emotionally recalled. He's incredibly consistent and disciplined, more than anyone I've ever met. Washington cannot recall Shai taking a day off from 8th grade until high school graduation. If he or another teacher couldn't open the gym on a given day, Shai would go to the local YMCA, arriving at 5 a.m. The science of excellence. Washington's methodology. Dwayne Washington's approach to Shai's development was a revolutionary blend of science and basketball. Washington, who was not only a basketball coach and physical education teacher but also taught natural sciences, decided to combine his two fields of expertise to work with Shai. an eager student and a passionate basketball player. The physics of movement. The first lesson was physics. Washington taught Shai the best way to compensate for his physical limitations, manipulating time. He explained acceleration and deceleration to him, showing how quickly slowing down could create as much space as quickly speeding up. He compared Shai to a four-speed car, advising him never to rush to fourth gear, where he could easily lose control. "You're never going to be faster than Allen Iverson," Washington would say, "but you can manage your gears." The strategy was specific: shift from third gear to first, then back to third, drop to second, and return to first before accelerating again. Avoid shifting from second to fourth gear. That would be predictable. Biology and breathing next was biology. They practiced breathing techniques. "Most people want to go, go, go," Washington noted, but not Shai. Breathing helped maintain a stable heart rate. The calmer he remained, the more composed he could be when shifting between gears. The geometry of space. Finally, geometry? Washington believed that too many players viewed the basketball court as a platform for straight lines. A player starts at point A and aims to dash to point B, but there were additional options to consider. He taught Shai the power of triangles. If a defender blocked his path to point B, that was fine, as long as Shai had a point C to aim for. "Make them think they've beaten you to a spot, and then you can go where you really want to go," Washington advised. "Sometimes you can use their strength against them. If they're faster than you, let them be fast. If they're stronger than you, let them be strong. They got there first, but there's no need to rush." Documenting mastery. The note-taking system. Shai brought notebooks to his workouts, writing down every drill Washington shared, a tradition he maintained throughout his career. "I wasn't going to remember everything on the fly," Shai explained. He wrote down techniques from other coaches and favorite players on YouTube, taking notes on their methods, and then tried to replicate them in the gym. This documentation system became the foundation of his approach to continuous improvement. "He has an ability to know what he's good at. He knows his strength and he's mastered that strength, and he strives to be the best at that," Washington noted. What separates him, I believe, is his ability to know what he's good at. Tennessee. The Great Transition. In 2015, seeking more serious competition, the family made the difficult decision to send Shai to Hamilton Heights Christian Academy in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This move became a turning point not only in his basketball career but also in his personal development. At Hamilton Heights, Shai lived in Coach Zach Farrell's home, sharing a room with his cousin, Nikhil Alexander Walker. Away from home, in an unfamiliar environment, both cousins were forced to rely solely on themselves and each other. Shai initially gave a verbal commitment to the University of Florida in his junior year, but Coach Farrell convinced him to reconsider his choice in his senior year and reopen the recruiting process. This decision proved to be pivotal. In his senior season, Shai averaged 18.4 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 4.0 assists per game, earning him a four-star recruit status. His final 5 schools included Kentucky, Kansas, Syracuse, Texas, and UNLV. Ultimately, he chose the University of Kentucky. Participation in the Basketball Without Borders camp in early 2016 gave him international experience. At the 2017 Nike Hoop Summit, he represented the World Select Team and scored 11 points in 21 minutes of playing time. He was also named the MVP of the Kentucky Derby Classic. Kentucky, a character laboratory. Under Calipari's guidance. Shai's single season at the University of Kentucky, under legendary coach John Calipari, became a masterclass in adaptation, growth, and leadership. The story of that season became one of the most illustrative in Shai's career, demonstrating his ability to exceed expectations and rise to the occasion. Starting on the bench. Initially, Shai was not the starting point guard. That role was held by Quade Green. Calipari later admitted, "Shai didn't start for me the first 8 games. When I called him in and said, 'You need to start,' he said, 'I'm fine, I feel good with the role I have.'" Shai came off the bench in 13 of the Wildcats' first 15 games, though Calipari said he knew soon after the season began that Shai was his best point guard. The coach told him as much, explaining that he deserved the starting spot but that he liked the rotation as it was. He asked if that was okay. He said, "No, I'm fine," Calipari recalled. And then he just kept getting better. Evolution of a leader. Kentucky's practice facility is steps away from the players' dorm. Coach's doors are open for extra video study. The weight room is a work of art. It's a place, Calipari said, where players get out of the experience what they put in. At Kentucky, you don't ask to get in the gym, Hamidou Diallo, Shai's UK teammate, and now with Oklahoma City said. The gym is open. It's either you want it or you don't. Shai wanted it. Video became a means for him to improve, so he watched his games on video and reviewed them with coaches in his spare time. If there was a staff request to study a player's game, he fulfilled it. Teammates recognized potential. Shai's teammates knew before the fall semester began that their point guard was underrated by recruiting analysts. Shai was killing it over the summer, said former teammate Wenyen Gabriel, a two-way player last season with the Sacramento Kings. I knew Shai was special when I first saw him, said Jared Vanderbilt, now a Denver Nuggets forward and then a classmate of Shai's at Kentucky. Even though he wasn't a very highly rated guy, you could just see his motor, his drive, his determination, the way he carried himself. He was already a pro even before he got to the league. This became a theme of Shai's Kentucky season, his professional approach to the game and life. Turning point, the Louisville game. A key moment in Shai's transformation was the game against Louisville, where he scored a then-career-high 24 points off the bench, including 17 in the second half, helping Kentucky rout its rivals 90-61. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and his Kentucky teammates knew they were capable of a dominant performance. A matchup with arch-rival Louisville motivated the number 16 Wildcats to go out and prove it. Tournament magic. As the season progressed, Shai began to take over the team. Kentucky followed a 4-game losing streak by winning 8 of its last 10 games. They won the Southeastern Conference tournament. Shai was the MVP of the event, averaging 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 6.7 assists in the 3 victories, before losing to Kansas State in the Sweet 16, which was Shai's worst game in the final stretch. By the end, he just took over the team, Calipari said. We were winning games we won because of him. Comparison to legends Calipari, who coached Derrick Rose, John Wall, Eric Bledsoe, and De'Aaron Fox in college, knows point guard excellence when he sees it. And so, when the season ended, he implored his NBA contacts to take a closer look at Shai. I coached 2 MVPs, Derrick Rose and Shai. Both had the same DNA. Incredible teammates, Calipari said on The Pat McAfee Show. Shai wouldn't do an interview unless his teammates were around. Derrick wouldn't do a picture unless his teammates were around. You would never hear a player who played with them ever say a bad word, because they're great teammates. They were both wired and driven. One trying to prove himself, I'm better than you think. The other trying to live up to what he was. NBA, the birth of a star. In motion. Draft night 2018 marked the first chapter of Shai's professional odyssey, full of unexpected twists and strategic decisions. Selected 11th overall by the Charlotte Hornets, he was immediately traded to the Los Angeles Clippers as part of a larger deal, the beginning of a journey that would shape his understanding of professional basketball and teach him adaptation at the highest level. First steps, Summer League. Even before his first official NBA season, Shai made an impression at the Las Vegas Summer League. He averaged 19.0 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, 4.0 assists, and an impressive 2.3 steals per game, using his nearly 7-foot wingspan to defend multiple positions. An experience like that for him, that's exactly what Summer League is for, Clippers summer team coach Casey Hill commented. You saw his pace on pick and rolls and isolation attacks getting downhill and getting into the paint. He figured some things out. In his Summer League debut against the Golden State Warriors, he tallied 13 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 1 steal in almost 28 minutes of play. He followed up with a 21-point performance in a win over the Sacramento Kings, which featured that year's second overall pick, Marvin Bagley III. I told him, you shifted into another gear, Hill commented after watching his play against the Kings. Hopefully that's something he's found and can get to a little bit more often. I was just getting better each game and just getting accustomed to the style of play, added Shai, who managed to shoot 46% from the field. Rookie season, adapting to the professional level. In his debut 2018-19 season, Shai averaged a modest 10.8 points, 3.3 assists, and 2.8 rebounds per game, but his impact extended far beyond the statistics. Clippers coach Doc Rivers quickly recognized a special talent in him. His vision, his size, his competitiveness. He has a chance to be a really special player, Rivers said at training camp. He's not going to be special tomorrow, but he can be special soon, and he's got that in him. There's no doubt about that. Teammates quickly recognized his potential. Potentially a star in this league, said guard Patrick Beverley. I feel like Shai can be a special defensive player, added guard Avery Bradley. Rookie challenges. Like all rookies, Shai faced adaptation challenges. In January 2019, he was going through a rough patch, which coach Doc Rivers honestly characterized. He's just struggling. This was a period where Shai played fewer than 13 minutes in some games, including his first scoreless game of the season. He's going to be a star, and I believe that, but he's just not playing very well, Rivers said. There's no dark secrets to it. He'll play better. It may take a day, a week, or a month, but he'll be back. I have no doubt about that. Veteran Danilo Gallinari shared wisdom. The first season is always tough. You go through ups and downs, but we're here for him. He'll get back to his normal game. He knows how to play basketball. He's a very talented guy. I don't talk to him about talent or things he can do in the game in terms of talent. I just talk to him about the mental part of the game. Mentorship from Lou Williams. A crucial role in Shai's development was played by veteran Lou Williams, who gave him advice that became a turning point in his mental approach to the game. The thing that stood out the most was Lou telling me to stick to who I am. Not trying to be somebody I'm not, it'll eventually come around, Shai recalled. This advice came from a special place of understanding. Lou himself entered the league at an incredibly young age, and the expectations that come with the pressure of being a hyped young player bonded the two. As one analyst noted, the best advice you can give someone struggling with confidence is to be yourself, and that's what Lou Williams did for Shai. This advice from Allen Iverson, via Lou, reached Shai, and the results showed on the court. Rookie playoffs, first taste of greatness. In his first NBA playoffs, Shai showed glimpses of his future greatness. Gilgeous-Alexander set a personal best and a Clippers rookie playoff record with 25 points on 9 of 15 shooting in Game 4 against the opponents. His ability to read the game, make the right decisions under pressure, and maintain composure in critical moments set him apart from his peers and gave the Clippers coaching staff insight into what they were dealing with was no ordinary rookie. Oklahoma. Finding a home and identity. In the summer of 2019, a transformative trade occurred that changed the trajectory of Shai's career forever. He arrived in Oklahoma City as part of the return in a blockbuster deal that signaled the Thunder's pivot to rebuilding. The trade of Paul George to the Clippers brought the Thunder not only Shai, but also a plethora of draft picks, laying the groundwork for future success. First impression: organizational culture. The first thing that struck Shai after being traded to the Thunder was the team's organization and attention to detail. The first thing I noticed after getting traded was during Summer League. I flew in for physicals and went to the gym that night. I saw how organized everything was. The balls lined up, the Gatorades, the towels. It seemed unusual at first, but as I progressed in my career, I understood the significance. It underscores the organization's commitment to ensuring all we need to focus on is playing the game and improving. This culture of attention to detail and perfectionism perfectly aligned with Shai's own approach to preparation and discipline, which became one of the key factors in his future success in Oklahoma. First season, becoming a leader. In his first season with Oklahoma, 2019-20, Shai exceeded all expectations. He became the team's leading scorer with an average of 19.0 points per game and helped them make the playoffs as the 5th seed. His statistical line: 19.0 points, 5.9 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and 1.1 steals per game on 47.1% shooting from the field. This season was a revelation not only for fans, but also for Shai himself, who realized he was capable of being a team's primary player at the NBA level. Player evolution, seasons of growth and obstacles, 2020 or 21 season. Rise, interrupted by injury. The 2021 season was marked by both brilliant moments and disappointment. Shai posted career-high efficiency numbers, 50.8% from the field and an impressive 41.8% from three-point range. His statistics, 23.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game. However, the season was cut short to 35 games due to various injuries, which became the first serious test of his professional career. Despite the limited number of games, Shai demonstrated his ability to be effective at an elite level. 2021-22 season. Challenges and growth. The 2021-22 season brought new challenges in the form of injuries. SGA missed 10 straight games due to an ankle injury sustained on January 28, 2022, during an Oklahoma City Thunder game against the Indiana Pacers. This was one of the longest streaks of missed games in his career. Despite health issues, Shai continued to show growth, averaging 24.5 points, 5.0 rebounds, and 5.9 assists in 56 games. His ability to return after injuries and maintain a high level of play demonstrated his mental resilience. Breakthrough, 2022-23 season. The 2022-23 season became a turning point in Shai's career, the year he officially announced himself as one of the best players in the NBA. His averages, 31.4 points, 4.8 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and 1.6 steals per game on an outstanding 51.0% shooting from the field and 90.5% from the free throw line. Statistical achievements. Shai finished fourth in the league in scoring with 31.4 points per game, earning him his first NBA All-Star selection and an All-NBA First-Team nod. On October 31, 2022, Shai was named the NBA Western Conference Player of the Week for Week 2, October 24-30, his second career Player of the Week award. He led Oklahoma to an undefeated 3-0 week with averages of 31.7 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 7.7 assists. Memorable season moments. On November 16th, he tied a then-personal best of 42 points, adding a game-winning three-pointer, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists in a 121-120 victory over the Washington Wizards. On December 19th, Shai scored 35 points and made the game-winning shot with 1 second left in a 123-121 victory over the Portland Trail Blazers. These clutch moments defined his reputation as a player capable of taking responsibility in decisive moments of games. Training. Philosophy, a scientific approach to perfection. The secret to Shai's transformation lies in his unique approach to the training process. It is a scientific method applied to basketball. His training system, developed with mentors, has become one of the most innovative in the NBA. Summer workouts in Hamilton. Unlike most NBA stars who flock to glamorous vacation spots, Miami and Los Angeles, to work with high-profile trainers among fellow professionals, Shai trains at his base in Hamilton. His training group consists of a half-dozen high school friends who serve as randomized defenders so he can hone his decision-making in game-like conditions. Sunrise training, that's the name of their group message. No one in that group is taller than 6 feet 2 inches. When they needed someone taller for low post work, they found Stefan Borovac, a 6'8" player who was practicing on a neighboring court. Garage workouts. He entrusts his physical preparation to Nem Illich, who was introduced through a mutual friend. Their workplace is Illich's 2-car garage at the end of a cul-de-sac on Hamilton Mountain. The famous garage workouts, which he started in 2020, included various leg exercises to increase muscle strength and balance. Because Shai needs to be constantly on his feet, his legs must be strong enough to perform all tasks. Whether it's running, dribbling, or jumping, he needs to be quick and precise, as one mistake could lead to a serious injury. Barefoot training. A unique aspect of Shai's approach is that he trains barefoot, a method that strengthens the feet and ankles, increasing proprioception and balance. When you see him slow down on a dime, pivot on a back foot, or stretch a stride through a tight lane, that's where the real craftsmanship is built. Scientific basis. Thunder coach Mark Daigneault noted the scientific basis of Shai's training. He's ahead of his time. He's intuitively aligned with the scientific research that suggests decision-making is key. You want randomness in your training, variability, and interweaving. He does that instinctively. The mental game, a philosophy of calmness and leadership. Shai's mental game is as developed as his physical game. His approach to leadership is based on principles of authenticity and consistency. Quiet leadership. It's true to my personality. I'm not always the loudest guy in the room and don't talk too much, but my energy and effort and what I put on the floor speaks the loudest, he explained his leadership style. That's just how I approach not just the game, but life. Actions always speak louder than words. For me, especially. That's just how I go about it. Discipline and consistency. I'm very strict about consistency in all aspects of life, Shai recounted in 2024. Whether it's my diet, my daily schedule, how clean my house is, that's what I do with my time whether I'm playing or not. I try to be very strict on discipline, being consistent. I think that helps with my basketball. He has a checklist for packing on road trips and takes the time to steam his tunnel-worthy outfits himself in his hotel room before heading to the arena. International pride. The journey with Canada. Shai's journey with the Canadian national team has become an integral part of his basketball identity and a source of national pride. Early international appearances. He first represented Canada at the FIBA Americas U18 Championship in 2016, winning a silver medal. This was only the initial stage of his international career, but it laid the foundation for his future achievements on the global stage. FIBA World Cup 2023. Historic breakthrough. The real breakthrough came at the FIBA World Cup 2023, where Shai led Canada to a historic bronze medal, the team's first medal in the tournament's history. His performance was outstanding on all levels. He was named to the FIBA World Cup All-Star 5 after finishing second in the tournament in scoring with 196 points. In 3 games, he scored at least 30 points, including a crucial 31 points in the bronze medal game against the United States. First medal for my country, so I had to bring it back. The kids give me so much joy and happiness. How is it that I'm the one giving back? Shai wrote on social media after visiting a children's hospital in Toronto with the bronze medal. Paris 2024 Olympic Games. At the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, Shai averaged 21.0 points as Canada reached the quarterfinals and finished 5th. While the result wasn't what was hoped for, the participation was an important experience for the young Canadian team. Sick Kids CEO Jennifer Bernard shared, "He is a beacon of light for our entire country. We all felt part of the championship and the bronze." 2023-24 season. Preparation for greatness. The 2023-24 season was a year of consolidating achievements and preparing for the major breakthrough. Shai averaged 30.1 points, 5.5 rebounds, 6.2 assists, and 2.0 steals per game on an outstanding 53.5% shooting from the field. He led the Thunder to a 57-25 record and the first seed in the Western Conference playoffs. Statistical achievements. This season was marked by numerous personal achievements for Shai. He became one of the few players in NBA history to average at least 30 points per game on over 50% shooting from the field throughout a season. Development of a young team. Under Shai's leadership, the young Thunder team transformed from a rebuilding franchise into a serious title contender. His role as a leader and mentor for young players like Jalen Williams, Josh Giddey, and Chet Holmgren was key to the team's transformation. 2024-25 season, crowning perfection. The 2024-25 season was the culmination of Shai's entire journey and a confirmation of his status as one of the greatest NBA players of his generation. Leading the league in scoring with 32.7 points per game, he led the Thunder to an outstanding 68-14 season. Regular season MVP. On May 20, 2025, Shai was officially named the NBA MVP for the 2024-25 season. beating three-time MVP Nikola Jokic. "I just focused on playing basketball, getting better and trying to win games," he told the NBA on TNT Crew, surrounded by his Thunder teammates. However, as a competitor and a kid who dreamed of playing, it always floats in the mind. "I'm incredibly grateful for such recognition, but none of this would have been possible without my teammates." Regular season, dominance, and records. His regular season performance included impressive statistics: 32.7 points, 5.2 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 1.7 steals, and 1.0 blocks per game on 52.4% shooting from the field and 36.9% from three-point range. At 68-14, the Thunder tied for the sixth-best single-season record in NBA history. Shai tallied multiple 50-point games during the season, including a career-high 54 points against the Utah Jazz on January 20, 2025. Following that game, he gave the league two more 50-point outputs on January 29th and February 5th against the Golden State Warriors and Phoenix Suns. In doing so, he became the ninth player in NBA history to record at least 50 points three times in a span of 7 games. 2025 Playoffs, Road to the Championship. The 2025 playoffs became the culmination of Shai's entire career, a demonstration of his ability to rise to the occasion in the most important moments. Dominance in the Western Conference. In the playoffs, the Thunder demonstrated dominance, advancing through the first 3 rounds of the Western Conference, with Shai earning the Western Conference Finals MVP award. His playoff averages, 32.7 points per game. Game 4 of the conference finals was particularly memorable, where Shai delivered one of the most remarkable fourth-quarter performances. It seemed the team received little support besides Shai, who played a crucial role in keeping us competitive even before the critical moments arrived. He managed to score 15 points in just the final 4 minutes and 38 seconds, with no assist to his name. We also hit a season low for three-pointers. Shai's monumental effort was the sole reason OKC emerged victorious in that game. NBA Finals, battle with the Indiana Pacers. In the final championship series against the Indiana Pacers, Shai closed everything out, averaging 30.3 points in 7 games. In Game 1, he scored an impressive 38 points, the third highest debut in finals history. In Game 2, he followed up with 34 points, shooting 11 of 21 attempts. Over the first 2 games, he accumulated a total of 72 points, surpassing Allen Iverson's legendary record of 71 points for the highest scoring output in a finals debut's first 2 games. Game 7, Career Crown. In the decisive Game 7, despite not having the most efficient shooting night, 8 of 27 from the field, including 2 of 12 from three-point range, Shai scored 29 points with 5 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 blocks, and 1 steal in 40 minutes. His leadership and playmaking intelligence often created space for his teammates to get going, leading the Thunder to a 103-91 victory and their first NBA championship since moving to Oklahoma City. Historical achievements, joining legends. With the championship victory and Finals MVP award, Shai joined an exclusive club as the 11th player in NBA history to win both regular season and Finals MVP in a single year. The only other players to achieve this feat: Michael Jordan, 4 times, LeBron James, twice, Larry Bird, twice, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, Magic Johnson, Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Willis Reed. Moreover, Shai became the first player to win the scoring title and an NBA championship in the same season since O'Neal in 2000. The only others to do so: Jordan, 6 times, Abdul-Jabbar, George McCon, twice, and Joe Fulks. Personal life, love, family, and values. On February 14, 2024, Shai married his longtime girlfriend, Haley Summers, a relationship that began in high school in 2017. Their love story became an example of stability and dedication in the world of professional sports. Haley Summers, partner and inspirer. Haley, originally from Ontario like Shai, was a college soccer star, playing defender at the University at Albany for 5 years. She earned a bachelor's degree in psychology while playing for Albany from 2017 to 2021, Haley Summers played in 56 games for the Great Danes. During her time, she totaled 3 assists and 1 goal, which is quite impressive for a defender. In November 2021, she officially retired from the sport with a heartfelt message on Instagram. 5 years later, thank you soccer for everything, but most importantly, thank you for bringing me the best friends I could ask for. Son Aries, a new chapter. In April 2024, the couple welcomed their son Aries. During an emotional speech upon receiving the MVP award, Shai couldn't hold back tears when speaking about his wife. Haley Summers, thank you for all you are. To me, to our son Aries, you were the first person to show me what love really is, what sacrifice really is, and I can't wait to spend the rest of this journey called life with you. He added, thank you for everything. I wouldn't be the man I am. I wouldn't be the player I am. I wouldn't be the father I am without you. Thank you for that. Business and brand. The path to financial independence record-breaking contract. On July 1, 2025, immediately after winning the championship, Shai signed a historic 4-year, $285 million deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder, making him the highest-paid player in NBA history with an average annual salary of $71.25 million. The 26-year-old earned a $285 million Supermax deal, which is an average annual salary of $71.25 million. This deal guarantees him financial security through the 2030-31 season. Partnership with Converse. In July 2020, Shai signed a multi-year shoe and apparel endorsement deal with Converse, joining a select group of NBA and WNBA players tasked with relaunching the brand's basketball category. The exclusivity of the brand, not having as many guys, and being able to express myself on and off the court in so many different ways is very attractive to me, Shai explained. In February 2025, he signed an expanded deal with Converse, which included the release of his first signature shoe and his appointment as Converse basketball creative director. I wasn't trying to balance anything, Shai said plainly in December. I wanted to create something new. I wanted to bring Converse into my world and have Converse through my lens. This creative director role brings him an average of $15 million annually. The Shai Zero Ray 1 signature shoe was released in September 2025, marking a historic moment for Converse, which only relaunched its performance basketball category in 2018. Other endorsements and self-management. Shai also has deals with Skims and Canada Goose. Earlier in 2025, Sportico estimated his total endorsement deals at $18 million per year, more than players like James Harden, Jason Tatum, and Kyrie Irving. What's most impressive, SGA has managed this incredibly complex process himself, allowing him to maintain full control over his career and all his earnings. I'm confident in my ability to do that, Shai told Sportico. It wasn't entirely about agent commissions. I want to be a well-rounded person, not just a basketball player, but a businessman, a father, and a husband. I want to check all the boxes. Leadership and Thunder culture. The quiet power of example. Shai's leadership style is characterized by humility and inclusivity. His leadership style is characterized by humility and inclusivity, as he constantly emphasizes the importance of teamwork. By acknowledging and uplifting the talents of his teammates, he has become a unifying force, encouraging all players to contribute to the team's success. Chris Paul, who was Shai's teammate for one season, observes the subtle ways Shai lifts his teammates. The thing I admire most about his game is the trust he has in his teammates, Paul noted. If he passes to Lou and he doesn't shoot, Shai will go up to Lou during a dead ball and say, "Hey, if I pass to you, shoot." He constantly makes the right decisions, creating a culture of equality. In the Thunder locker room, the atmosphere is one of equality. Every player, regardless of their accolades or experience, is valued for their contribution. This egalitarian approach fosters an environment where every voice matters, allowing players to feel empowered and included. Thunder coach Mark Daigneault shared, "He's a core part of the team. He treats everyone with dignity. He has an easygoing demeanor and he's not cynical. His many qualities make him magnetic. He stays focused on his own life and isn't distracted by external factors, which is very impressive." community involvement and mentorship. Connection to Canadian roots. Shai remains deeply connected to his Canadian roots through various community initiatives. In July 2025, immediately after winning the NBA championship and MVP award, he hosted his annual youth basketball camp in the Greater Toronto area. Hundreds of basketball players from across the GTA attended the free camp and got to meet their hero. One camp participant shared his impressions. "It's pretty cool because he's Canadian too, which opens up a lot of opportunities for other Canadians to shine and try to get into the NBA. It's really cool that he's doing this for our country. He shows that he's a good leader for our country and shows that not all the talent comes from America." Honorary citizen of Hamilton. In August 2025, Shai received the keys to the city of Hamilton in a ceremonial event. "It means the world to know that I'm someone that this city is proud of," SGA said after receiving the keys to Hamilton, Ontario. In his speech to the crowd, he said, "Around the world, everywhere I went, people often asked where I was from. I was proud to share that I'm from Hamilton. I loved explaining what Steel City meant to me. Hamiltonians embody a unique mix of resilience, determination, pride, and grit that is distinct from the rest of the province. Honestly, I embrace that identity every day." Working with his father, Shai actively participates in his father's charity organization, No Flukes. At a recent event in Toronto hosted by Vaughn Alexander, Shai met with young and aspiring NBA talents and shared his wisdom. "If I told you that you need to get up with me at 5 a.m. every morning and run 4 miles every morning for the next 5 years, you'll say yes. But on the 7th day when you're dog-tired, your shots aren't really falling, and it's not really progressing the way you wanted, and you can still get up. And I think that's where you find the guys who can achieve something and who can't." Injuries and recovery. Lessons in resilience. Throughout his career, Shai has faced various injuries that taught him the importance of load management and recovery. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has had a total of 25 injuries as of March 2025, according to Fox Sports. Basketball Reference reports that almost every injury caused him to miss multiple games, though his foot and ankle injuries in the early 2021 and 2022 seasons hindered more than 10 games. Approach to recovery. After missing 4 straight games and 6 of his last 7 in 2024 due to quadriceps issues, Shai returned with an impressive performance against the Sacramento Kings. "I felt pretty good for a start. The past few games, I was trying to play through an injury, but it wasn't healing fast enough, so I decided to take a break, work on it, and not come back until I felt 100%, and I feel 100% tonight for sure." This philosophy of health management demonstrated his mature approach to a long-term career and the understanding that short-term sacrifices can lead to long-term gains. Quotes and life philosophy. Shai is known for his thoughtful statements that reflect his mature approach to the game and life. On overcoming difficulties. "The only way your dreams don't come true is if you give up. Keep trying and keep working hard. Never stop going after what you want," he told young players. On leadership. "At the end of the day, I truly love my teammates genuinely. It's a special group of guys. I enjoy being around them. I prioritize winning, and you can't win alone. I need every one of those guys to do what I want to do." On the growth process. "I often refer to a karate book I got from a friend, which emphasizes that success is not a straight line. There will be ups and downs, but if you stay dedicated and trust the process, you will find success. We are witnessing that today." On consistency and discipline. For the kids out there, I think it just comes down to work. If you're in love with something, if you're passionate about something, it shouldn't feel like work. It should feel like it's something you just want to do every day. Impact and legacy. Beyond statistics. Impact on Canadian basketball. Shai became the second Canadian to win NBA MVP after Steve Nash, which has immense significance for the development of basketball in Canada. Nash commented on the broader impact of Shai's success. "You can only imagine the kids all over the world, but especially in Canada, who will be positively affected, whether they're basketball players or not, by the way he carries himself, performs, and dedicates himself." His story has become a source of inspiration for young Canadian basketball players. "It's a huge inspiration, especially coming out of Hamilton. It's a huge inspiration for us," a current student said. Changing perception of the position. Shai represents a new paradigm for the modern point guard, a player who combines size, 6x6, ball handling skills, scoring ability, and basketball IQ in a unique package. His approach to the game, a blend of patience, intelligence, and relentless work, represents an evolution of the position. Business example for other players. Shai's decision to manage his business affairs independently has become an example for other players about the importance of understanding the business side of sports. I want to be a well-rounded person, not just a basketball player, but a businessman, a father, and a husband, he explains his philosophy. Future. New horizons and ambitions. Building a dynasty. With a new Supermax contract and a young, talented team, Shai is in a unique position to build a basketball dynasty in Oklahoma. The Thunder have several young stars and a plethora of draft picks, which lays the groundwork for sustained success. International ambitions. Shai will likely aim to add an Olympic medal to his growing collection of trophies at the upcoming 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Games. His leadership of the Canadian team continues to evolve, and he is becoming a central figure in Canada's international ambitions. Business development. As Converse basketball creative director and a successful self-managed athlete, Shai is in a position to expand his influence in the business world far beyond his playing career. Conclusion. A symbol of modern excellence. In a world where sports stars are often defined by flash and noise, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander represents the power of quiet, discipline, and perseverance. His story, from a boy cut from his high school team in Hamilton to an NBA MVP and world champion, serves as a reminder that true greatness often comes not from what is easily given, but from what is earned through years of quiet, relentless work. Shai embodies values that transcend sports: family, humility, hard work, consistency, and authenticity. His approach to the game and life shows that one can achieve the highest heights without sacrificing one's principles or connections to home. When young basketball players ask Shai for advice on overcoming difficulties in their early basketball journeys, his answer is simple and profound. The only way your dreams don't come true is if you give up. Keep trying and keep working hard. Never stop going after what you want. These words, spoken by a man who turned every obstacle into a stepping stone to the top, resonate not only as advice to young athletes, but also as a life philosophy. In an era of instant success and viral fame, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander proves that the most significant achievements still come the old-fashioned way. Through hard work, perseverance, and an unwavering belief in the process. His legacy is not only in trophies and records, but in demonstrating that humility and greatness can coexist, and true leadership is measured not by the loudness of a voice, but by the strength of example. For a young generation of Canadian and international basketball players, Shai has become living proof that dreams, backed by discipline, can lead to incredible heights. As he enters his prime years as a player, his influence will continue to grow not only on the court but also as a role model, businessman, and community leader. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's story is about turning the ordinary into the extraordinary through a commitment to excellence in every aspect of life.